Once, there was an old retired man named Peter who lived with his son, David, David's wife, Lily, and their young son, Ethan. Peter was kind-hearted and patient but often forgot things like where he kept his belongings or conversations he'd had. Since he was retired, he stayed home all day while David went to work. Lily didn't treat Peter well. She often scolded him and treated him like a burden, making him do chores around the house. Despite her harsh words, Peter remained quiet and never complained. One morning, Lily gave him some money to buy groceries from the market. As Peter was walking down the street, he passed by a small clinic and saw a young boy pleading with the pharmacist. "My sister is really sick," the boy cried, "but I don't have enough money to buy her medicine." The pharmacist refused to give him the medicine without payment. Seeing the boy's desperation, Peter felt his heart ache. Without a second thought, he handed over the money he had for groceries and told the boy to take care of his sister. That evening, during dinner, David asked Lily, "Why didn't you make any soup today?" Lily replied angrily, "Your father didn't bring the groceries. He gave the money away to some stranger and came home empty-handed." David turned to Peter and said, "Dad, why did you do that? You can't just give away money like that. We have our own needs to take care of." Before Peter could respond, little Ethan spoke up, "Dad, helping people is a good thing. My teacher says we should always help those in need." Lily snapped at Ethan, "Don't talk back to your father. Stay quiet." A few days later, Peter went to the market again, but suddenly he felt dizzy and collapsed on the side of the road. A passerby found his phone and called home to inform Lily, but she dismissed it, saying, "He'll manage on his own. It's nothing serious." When Ethan overheard the call, he wanted to inform his dad, but Lily stopped him, saying, "Don't bother your father with this nonsense." Eventually, Peter managed to make his way back home, exhausted and weak. Ethan hugged him tightly, glad to see him safe. Peter loved spending time with Ethan, telling him stories and teaching him about kindness and honesty. One afternoon, Lily was furious because she found out that Ethan hadn't paid his school fees. "Where did the money go?" she demanded. Ethan hesitated and then admitted, "There's a boy in my class who was about to be expelled because he couldn't pay his fees. I gave him the money to help." Lily lost her temper and began to scold Ethan harshly. "You're just like your grandfather, always wasting money. You've been spoiled by him." David intervened, saying, "That's enough, Lily. Ethan did the right thing. We should be proud of him for helping a friend in need." Despite David's support for Ethan, Lily's attitude toward Peter remained unchanged. One day, she sent him to pay the electricity bill. While waiting in line, someone picked his pocket, stealing all the money. When Peter reached the counter and realized his loss, he felt completely helpless and ashamed. When he returned home, Peter took out an old photograph of his late wife and, with tears in his eyes, approached David and Lily. "Please take me to the old age home," he said quietly. "I don't want to be a burden on this family anymore." Lily was overjoyed and urged David to take him there immediately. At the old age home, while David was filling out the paperwork, he noticed Peter talking warmly with the manager as if they were old friends. Curious, David asked one of the staff members, "How does my father know the manager?" The staff member replied, "Your father isn't new here. Years ago, he helped fund the construction of this place and supported many of the children here. He even adopted a child from this orphanage back then." David was stunned and felt a wave of guilt wash over him. When he returned home, Lily asked, "Did you finally get rid of him?" Furious, David shouted, "How can you be so heartless? Do you know that my father helped build that place? He's been helping orphans for years. We've treated him so unfairly." Lily broke down, realizing her mistake. Filled with regret, she agreed to go back with David to bring Peter home. They found him sitting alone, looking defeated. David knelt before him and apologized with tears in his eyes. "We're sorry, Dad," he said. "Please come home. We were wrong to treat you that way." Peter wiped his tears and hugged his son tightly, forgiving him without hesitation. From that day forward, the family changed their ways. They treated Peter with love and respect, grateful to have him back. The story teaches us to value our elders and treat them with kindness. Parents are a blessing, and they deserve love, respect, and care, not neglect. Never forget the sacrifices they've made and always honor them with gratitude.